Call of Duty 2027 was just leaked, and let me tell you, the information sounds very interesting, something that we've never seen before. And no, I did not misspeak or you heard incorrectly, we're talking about Call of Duty 2027. But before we get into all the juicy parts, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to see for the like button, and while you're down there, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos. And also, we are very close to 5k subs. If you can hit it before the end of the year, that would be absolutely amazing. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So absolutely out of nowhere, earlier today, the Ghost of Hope ends up tweeting an exclusive saying COD 2027 by Sledgehammer Games will not be Advanced Warfare and will instead be set in a completely new sub-franchise. Okay, so there are two things to unpack there. First of all, it's not gonna be Advanced Warfare. That was rumored for some time now. COD 2027 was supposed to be Advanced Warfare, but that of course debunks that. It's not gonna be Advanced Warfare. However, it will be set in a completely new sub-franchise, which means it's not gonna have the title Modern Warfare or Black Ops. It's gonna be something completely different, similar to how we had Call of Duty Ghost and Advanced Warfare and Vanguard. It's gonna be something new. And to be honest with you guys, as much as I love the Black Ops series and the Modern Warfare series, I think this is the only correct thing to do. Get away from that, okay? The past couple of years, they have been absolutely terrible. They're using the name Black Ops and Modern Warfare, but let's be honest, they're simply running it into the ground. It is simply a shell of its former self. It's not the Black Ops or the Modern Warfare games that we know and love from before. So yeah, it is definitely time to move on from Black Ops and Modern Warfare, and the only studio that will know how to do it and do it well will be none other than Sledgehammer Games. So I am all for this. It's time for a new sub-franchise, new characters, new storyline, and all that good stuff. I cannot wait to see what Sledgehammer Games will cook for Call of Duty 2027. Then the Ghost of Hope goes on to say that it's gonna be set during the Modern era. So far, no complaints. Everything sounds absolutely amazing. As I always tell you guys, and will continue to say, Modern era to near futuristic will always be the best things for Call of Duty, and that will never change in my opinion, because it gives the developers the creative freedom to do whatever they want without them being stuck in a time period and only having to focus on historical accuracy. No, with modern era to near futuristic settings, they can go crazy and give us all sort of cool weapons, characters, and it will actually make sense. So like I said, no complaints there so far. Then he goes on to say no jetpacks, but movement is planned to be a big focus. Okay, so that is very interesting because first of all, no jetpacks, seems like we'll have to wait a bit longer for those to come back if they ever come back. However, movement is planned to be a big focus. Does that mean there's gonna be another iteration of Omni movement, or maybe just maybe Omni movement is already scrapped and there's gonna be another new movement feature? Of course, we are still so far away from release or even any sort of official information, but this is very interesting. Like I said, it's not gonna be jetpacks, but movement is a big focus. What does that exactly mean? Obviously we are not too sure, but if I'm being honest with you guys, my opinion, I think it's time for a new movement apart from the boots on the ground. I'm talking about maybe something like jetpacks, not as crazy as it was in Advanced Warfare, but something similar to we had in Black Ops 3 and even Infinite Warfare. They did jetpacks very awesome in my opinion, and I think it's time for something like that to return. Don't get me wrong, boots on the ground is awesome, yes, but it's getting stale now. We need new innovation, we need something fresh in these Call of Duty games, because they all feel the same, especially for the past 4 or 5 years. They all feel very similar, just with a different name and a different number. Otherwise everything else is the same. Next up, the Ghost of Hope says zombies is currently not planned for the game. Okay, so as it stands right now, Call of Duty 2027 will not have zombies as its third mode. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that is very interesting, because when it comes to Sledgehammer Games zombies, they always knock it out of the park in my opinion. You had Advanced Warfare zombies, which I believe was quite awesome, and then you had World War II zombies, which I believe was just simply amazing. Okay, of course not on the same level as Treyarch zombies from before, but still it was very close second. I think that Sledgehammer Games always knock it out of the park when it comes to zombies, so the fact that COD 2027 will not have zombies is very interesting, and maybe just because it does not fit the narrative. But let's be honest here, when did that ever stop Call of Duty from adding zombies or something else that just absolutely made no sense? But yeah, to be honest with you guys, I find that very interesting. But as it is right now, do not expect zombies in Call of Duty 2027. Okay, so what we're gonna talk about next maybe explains why there is no zombies in Call of Duty 2027, and that is because the Ghost of Hope says Get High is planned to return. Of course, if you played last year's Modern Warfare 3, you know about the limited time game mode in multiplayer Get High, where basically you were competing against other players to reach the top of a map, and of course whoever reaches the top wins. To be honest with you guys, that was an amazing game mode, and apparently is set to return in Call of Duty 2027, maybe just possibly as the third mod instead of zombies or Spec Ops. And if that is truly the case, then I'm all for it. I would absolutely love Get High as the third mod, especially if Sledgehammer Games do not neglect it and actually improve it and update it every season with new maps, new challenges, and just simply keep on updating it to keep it fresh. I'm all for it. Like I said, if Sledgehammer Games gets this right, I can definitely see Get High being a staple third mod alongside zombies, Spec Ops, and when Sledgehammer Games time, it will be Get High. Like I said, if that is the case, I'm all for it. I cannot wait to see Sledgehammer Games absolutely cook. And to finish off with the COD 2027 leaks, we have one of the most wild and out there leaks, and that is there may be a focus on martial arts within the gameplay with karate kicks and karate chops as examples. What? I mean, you have one player holding a weapon and the other guy's trying to use some karate kicks and karate chops. Let's be honest, we all know how that's gonna end. So how on earth is Sledgehammer Games gonna implement martial arts into a Call of Duty game? But like I said earlier in the video, if there's a Call of Duty studio that will be absolutely amazing at doing new stuff, it's gonna be none other than Sledgehammer Games. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not against this. I would actually love to see a martial arts gameplay in Call of Duty. I am just surprised at how this came out to be and how it will fit in Call of Duty 2027. But like I said, I am definitely excited for it. It is very, very interesting. And one thing, if there is no Chuck Norris crossover in Call of Duty 2027, if it indeed has the martial arts gameplay, I will be calling Sledgehammer Games and asking them what on earth are they doing. But all jokes aside, this is gonna be absolutely crazy. Now one of the replies by the Ghost of Hope himself to his main tweet really caught my attention, because he says, imagine Get High as the third mod for COD 2027 with developer and community made maps, fully fledged leaderboards and more. Okay, simply put, that is super amazing. Earlier in the video I talked about how Sledgehammer Games needs to update the mod and give us new maps, but it never crossed my mind the community made maps. That would be next level, okay? Simply put, that would be next level. The replayability, the longevity of the game and the mod will be through the roof. I'm talking about something similar to how Black Ops 3 Zombies with its community made maps and all the mods and all that is still played now even 10 years after release. So imagine if we get something similar with the Get High in Call of Duty 2027. Like I said, the replayability and the longevity of the game mode and the game itself will be absolutely through the roof. And when you add leaderboards on top of all of that, that's game over, okay? Simply put, I think that will be the best game mode ever. It will be game over for everything else. But what do you guys think about everything that we went through in this video? Do you guys think it's a W or an L? Do you think Sledgehammer Games have absolutely cooked or not? Make sure to tell me in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this. But with that being said, make sure to click the video on the screen right now to watch me play through the Black Ops 2 campaign in 2025. Thank you guys for watching this video.